Well, we started 2000. Year 2000, we started the band. But I've been playing music since high school, but never really took it seriously. Never even considered myself a frontman. I was always a guitar player.
Mm-hmm.
And then around second year college, I started working as a DJ for NU 107 Cebu. And then
Mm.
I had access to music, access to local bands. And then one of the bands that heavily influenced me was a band called Glitch. And actually, they got signed to a label and came to Manila.
Mm-hmm.
And then their drummer eventually became our drummer din sa Urban Dub, si Janjan Mendoza.
Those are.
But it was through them na parang I started dabbling in management. So I was one of their
Okay.
first managers. And when they started, when they got popular and then they got signed to a label, definitely they had to move to Manila. They eventually had a new management team na. And then I was left in Cebu thinking na, hey, maybe I can start a band as well and,
Okay.
and play music. So
How was the band scene sa Cebu during the like
it
like
was
those
great.
days? Mm.
One thing about the Cebu music scene, though, hindi kami pinapansin on a national level, but
Mm-hmm.
advent din kasi yun ng ano ng digital recording.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of bands had access to finally recording their material without
Studio, ganun.
recording their material, but it was still expensive, but not as expensive as the big studios. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Because it was digital na, everything was computer based and whatnot. And there was a studio there called Backyard Project Studios where we'd hang out and record our songs. We never really went. I never really went through, even with Urban, that we never really went through the cover phase. We did a
Mm-hmm.
few shows like that, but it was mainly because we really wanted to write original material. Kasi yun din yung uso in Cebu. Everybody
Mm-hmm.
really, all the bands really wanted to come up with original material. So we grew up in that culture of wanting to. Uh, it was all about art and being creative, and like I said, with Backyard Project Studio, all bands, different genres would converge in that studio. So we
Mm-hmm.
started learning from different artists, from different genres, from different mga philosophies, and how they approach their music, whether it's reggae, punk, metal, new
Mm-hmm.
metal, or kung ano man yan. So yun. And then around when we started, we released our first independent album, Birth, around 2001. We gained a following because we started playing the songs on local radio.
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually, since it was being played on radio, Manila bands started hearing a few of our demos, a few of our songs. So when they go to Manila, they start asking about us, like, oh, sino sa Urban Dub or whoever other bands were actually making their songs heard. You know what I mean? And
And then
then
C 2000 era, I mean, I don't know how, hindi pa, I mean, there was the internet, but it wasn't as big as it
no,
is now,
no,
di ba? So
it was
how was
slow.
like, it was very slow, di ba? Dial up pa nun, ano?
Yeah.
Diba? Pero, I mean, is there kind of, was there like a music community starting
Yeah,
back, like
yeah,
from, kasi ngayon, on a global scale, or sabihin natin sa Pilipinas, on a national scale, you have Facebook groups, you have, 'di ba? You
yeah.
have community boards eh. So back then, wala pa masyado nun, 'di ba? Wala pa.
Wala. Wala masyado. Pero yun nga, yung studio na yun, Backyard Project Studios, that's where all bands would record. So, bahay siya eh. That's why it was called
Ah,
Backyard. So, parang
okay.
it was uh, uh, an old garage of the Sir Jong Smuanya who owned the place. Kumbaga, he converted it into a studio. So, all the bands would hang out, drink, eat,
So kumbaga
and
that's where it all started,
yeah,
kumbaga.
it all started. So even if you're not recording, you would normally just go there and hang out and
Hang
just
out.
drink. And you'll always find somebody from a different band there hanging out, and then everybody just got close. So yun na
Okay.
yun na yung parang naging community in a sense
Mhm.
where we all learn from each other.
And then
Yun.
to Manila, like from Cebu. How did you, what made you decide na, okay, from Cebu, I think we could grow this. We're getting notoriety. I think it's time to capture a bigger audience.
To be honest, we had no plans of making it to Manila.
Mm-hmm.
Because parang uh, para siyang suntok sa buwan eh, if you really think about it, especially
Yeah,
during that time. Plus the
that's
fact
true.
that during our time when we were starting out, we were only 3 year. We released two albums. We were only a 3 year old band. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
2001, and then we released another one 2003.
Mm-hmm.
So parang hindi in Manila was far from our minds or making
Mm-hmm.
it or anything like that. We were just happy making albums or making songs.
Mm-hmm.
And then pero yun nga, when our songs would be out, we'd release the songs. People started taking notice from Manila, and then eventually we were invited to perform our first show in Manila by Myrene Academia from Sandwich, because she was
Okay.
I think the program director for NU 107 Manila at that time. And then
Okay.
Francis Reyes,
Grabe
the guitar,
classic, no? NU
yeah,
107.
yeah, the Francis Reyes from the Dawn, he guitar player for the Dawn. He was one of the top DJs then in NU. He'd play our songs in the Raw.
Mm-hmm.
So, nagkaroon kami ng airplay in Manila. We got invited to Manila. We went to Manila. And then you were asking me kanina about struggles.
Mm-hmm.
Now we had to take because we didn't have any money. We didn't have any
Mm-hmm.
jobs. Lalay at that time and John Lalay, our bass player, and then John Dinopol, our guitar player, were still in college.
Mm-hmm.
I dropped out of college because I was already
Mm-hmm.
working as a DJ, or I was working odd jobs after
Mm-hmm.
that. And then our drummer Jeros, parang at that time was a I don't know what his job was, pero feeling ko tambay.
Tambay.
kasi
Professional.
kainuman ko kasi kainuman ko sa kagabi-gabi. So
Okay.
so
Creative ano siya? Creative
creative naman.
wanderer.
Free spirit, free spirit.
Spirit. Yeah.
free spirit.
That
I
sounds
think
nice.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I don't recall. I don't recall. That's 20 years ago, but parang so we took our chance. We took a boat instead of a plane. We kasi cheaper to ride a boat to Manila, 24 hours, and then a boat ride, and then we even asked sponsorship dun sa boat na yun na to sponsor us.
Okay.
But yung trade-off was we have to play on the boat.
On the
So,
boat.
so we
Okay.
played in the boat without anybody watching us while there are few people lang milling
Mm.
around watching. Kunwari kasi may show band yung boat eh.
Okay.
Pero
Okay.
after nung break ng show band, o sige kayo yung tumugtog. So tugtog naman kami. We played a few
Ah,
covers, acoustic
kayo yung
lang.
filler. Kayo
O
yung...
kami yung filler, parang ganun. And then, kakatawa nga eh, kasi may iba natutulog sa tables, may iba kumakain ng itlog, tsaka kumakain ng mga noodles, cup noodles, while we're playing. Pero kami naman, parang,
Okay.
pay your dues.
Oo. Di
Right?
ba?
But
Okay
we're
mo.
more excited now. You know, we've been given an opportunity to be able to represent Cebu music
Cebu.
in
Yeah.
Manila. So, and it was a big NU 107 event, and then yung lineup at that time was like all of the popular bands kasi it was a big event eh sa um saan ba yun? Sa Marikina Riverbanks.
Mm-hmm.
Yun. It was a big event there. Slapshot played. I think Color
Slapshot.
Color It Red played. Uh, I think Queso played
Mm-hmm.
and Greyhounds. Basta it was a crazy lineup. And
Okay.
then
Parang rockfest siya, ganon. Or
Rockfest.
music fest.
Yeah, so kami naman we knew that people in Manila were already familiar with our songs, a few of our songs that were there. So, but we didn't know that they were gonna react to us the way that they did when we started playing.
Okay.
So, medyo sumuka pa kami backstage before the event because we were so nervous.
Nervous.
Yeah, but when we started playing, parang when we got on stage, it was like, tara, let's just represent where we come from.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. And then, yun. From there, from that point, we got nominated for Rock Awards. So we came back. Then we won Song of the Year. That was 2004. We started getting offers from labels na. And
Mm-hmm.
then
And then you ended
around
up siding with
EMI. EMI.
EMI.
EMI. That was a good one dahil we were being shopped around with different labels were asking us. But among the labels that were asking us, it was only EMI who actually flew to Cebu. Cebu City to like talk with us. We even met with the boss there, so and their label manager at a hotel. And then we were parang ano pa kasi takot kami sa labels eh, parang you
Mm.
know all those label horror stories when you sign major
Uh,
label na parang they're gonna change your style or
yeah.
and I've experienced that na parang oh
Mm-hmm.
we'll sign you to a label pero this particular song that you have pwedeng ganito lang yung style ninyo or like can you make songs like
Oh.
this, and I'm like no, if you're gonna take our songs take all of it, like this is what we have, right?
Okay.
EMI was the only one, so we were being parang total we can stay indie naman, so parang we told them na okay, we want to have creative freedom,
Mm-hmm.
um uh, we're only gonna make songs na we make songs and then the songs that we come up with yun lang yung i-release nyo, you don't
Okay.
ask us to make new ones na para hit song you know what I
Uh-uh.
mean. So it was only MI that really most of the labels naman said yes to that, or so we were told by our then manager, but it was only MI na parang we were kind of medyo cool sila kasi they
Mm-hmm.
even went all the way to Cebu to
Yeah,
ask
they
us.
went to Cebu para gawin nila yan.
Yeah.
So it's forming a relationship,
Yeah,
kumbaga.
yeah, na parang, uy, seryoso tong mga to sa amin, ah. So
Mm-hmm.
parang, okay. So we tried our luck. So why not? If they're gonna give us what we wanted, then
Mm-hmm.
might as well do that. So we tried naman, and uh, eventually we moved to Manila, and then from then on, yun na. We've been living here since 2005.